Kathy Cologne, thank you so much for coming on the show. Folks, we are going to be talking about international purchasing of real estate, the upside of it, the tax advantages, and how you can do this in a smooth transition if you're looking for properties in the Dominican Republic. Kathy Cologne is the one. We're going to be talking about her business and how you might be able to take advantage of that. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you so much for having me, Joe.
No, it's a pleasure to have you on. You've built quite a business. Now, the bulk of our agents our viewers are agents. So what I'd like to do is speak to how you can help them with their international buyers and also your story. You've built quite an interesting business. It's very unique from what I've been seeing, and love to have you share that part of it. So give us a little background of just a little bit about what you were doing before you got into real estate and then how you transitioned into it and got to where you are now.
Certainly. So, what I was doing before, I am a healthcare public health professional. I've worked for first half of my career in medical devices, second half in the health tech arena, working with innovative cutting edge tier 3 technology. And how I built this business was I was taking care of a loved one and going back and forth between the Dominican Republic and New York. So I kept staying in different villas and I fell in love with them. And I was, trying to figure out, well, how can I even possibly buy something here? And what would I need to do? And I started discovering a whole entire journey. And that journey took 3 years for me to figure out the places, the people, where to go, what to do, and, how to procure something in the DR. And that's how it all got started.
And now, are your buyers all from all over the world, or are they mostly the US?
I have a huge population of US centric clientele, as well as Canada and Spain, Italy, Colombia, and Argentina. Those are the top regions.
Wow. That's quite the spread out. So what about languages? How are you dealing with that?
So English, Spanish, Italian and Spanish are pretty similar. Portuguese and Spanish are pretty similar. And we're good.
That's great. So what did you discover that is different about buying a property in the Dominican than it is in the United States?
There are so many advantages to buying. One of them is the Dominican Republic has a confutor law, and that confutor law is tax exemption. They want US citizens, international buyers to, purchase more in the Dominican Republic. And what it is a 15-year tax exemption where you pay no taxes on the property. Obviously, it has to be over $200,000 and you only qualify for one. But for 15 years, you don't pay any taxes. You don't pay any 3% transfer tax. You don't pay any capital gains taxes for the first 3 years when you move there. Move or buy,
So are you seeing investors or are they second homeowners or both?
both. So they're investors that are looking at Puerto Rico, they're looking at Mexico, and they have no idea. It's like DR is the best kept secret. The proximity is so close
Yeah.
to Florida, to New York, direct flights. And, I have people from the Midwest, Indianapolis, Ohio, Tulsa, Oklahoma, California, which is a really big surprise, but no surprise because the taxes are so high in California.
Right. Do you see a trend of people retiring there or totally living down there, moving down there year round?
So I have, well, particularly from the US, I have some folks that just want to completely move. They're tired of they just want a different speed, a different rhythm. They don't want to pay their taxes. So they see this as a viable option with a really great infrastructure to retire, and it's safe and has good hospital systems. And so, and also the snowbirds. I was just on a call with someone. Says, my wife and I from Tulsa, my wife and I just want to spend January and February in a warm place. And we love the DR. So snowbirds, people moving there permanently, investors.
Nice. And so what kind of services are you providing? Because I know it's not just the purchase piece. I read a little bit and I know you have some concierge services that you're offering.
I look at everything from a healthcare lens. So I have an entire checklist of projects that I take on, like how much air, light quality, green space. Is there a place to walk? How close? What's the proximity to water? Is there an ocean or a pool nearby? So there are things that I specifically look for, and there's an entire checklist.
What is the process? In the United States, obviously, we have MLS, we have Zillow, we have plenty of ways to find properties for sale here. What's it like going to
So in the DR, there is no Zillow. There is no MLS. There are reliable firms, real estate firms, developers that also work as sellers. So it's kind of tricky to find properties. You have to really go dig and search. And you asked what are some of the services that I had to offer, just to piggyback on that. So not only do I look for nature, but I also do design services. So you procure the home. Okay, now the ones that don't come furnished, because there's some pre-construction that come from A to Z, you just have to pick up your keys. But what happens when you buy this villa and it's completely empty? So we also do design services, procurement, styling, feng shui. So those are some of the services that we have to offer.
And when you say we, what's the structure of your company? What's that look like?
So, headquartered in New York with operations in the Dominican Republic. I have a team that I work with here, like web design, web, press, marketing, other salespeople. On the ground, I have property managers, I have handyman, I have carpenters, I have electricians, plumbers. So it's a lot more intense, like management style on the ground for operations.
How often do you have to travel back and forth? I'm curious about your lifestyle.
It all depends on business needs. So I about right now every 4 to 6 weeks, depending what I have going on. I just got back from a trip. I went to go see some different communities, some development. I also met with clients. And it was really nice to be on the ground. I got to now work with equestrians and horses and kind of like develop that for clients as well.
I never even thought of what types of properties are there. I always just pictured beach. What else is out there?
Oh, so no, you have your city center, your hubs. Think of it like mini small New York City. You have Santo Domingo, which is the capital, which is very metropolitan. You have Santiago as well, which is more inland. You have the mountainsides, Jarabacoa. You have, if you want to live in small little villages, which is a village that I went to go visit with an Italian couple that's developing. It's absolutely beautiful by the mountains. And of course, you have your different types of beaches. So you want to be like in Punta Cana, which is more like downtown tourists, everyone, having a good time. Do you want to be in something more sustainable like Las Terrenas, that's more like ecological, sustainable, like more terrain living? So the beauty of the country is that each part is so different from the other. It just depends on what you really love.
And the weather's good year round?
The weather's fabulous year round. You have like California weather during the winter, our winter. And then the summer is it's hot.
I bet. And how about the structure of the government structure and any issues that would not tax sounds great. Anything else that we need to know?
It is a very stable economy. It's a booming economy. It has a stable government. The United States and the Dominican Republic have very good relations. Marco Rubio was just there. I believe the president is going to visit soon. There's some announcements about that. They love Americans, and the United States doesn't have any conflict with the DR.
That's fantastic. Good. Good to know. So I know you was going back and forth. Did you are you copying somebody? Or is this it sounds like this is such a unique opportunity that you have.
It's a niche market. Not many people know everything that it has to offer. It was kind of a discovery journey for me. I'm like, if I don't know this, I can't imagine how other people don't know this as well. Probably scary and daunting if it was for me. It would be even more so for someone else.
Yeah. It's scary and daunting opening up a brokerage in your own town in the United States. What were some of the challenges you came across when you were going international?
My biggest challenge was, who do I trust? Who is credible? Who is going to deliver? Who is going to be honest and tell me what the state of the state is? So that was a big discovery process. I developed relations over time. I saw how, doing my own investment, how that worked out, and some tricks along the way. And then other recommendations. So my network has kept growing and growing. Now I have people in different parts of the country that help facilitate whatever needs I may have for my clients.
Nice. And as far as, that actually getting to trust people happens, you have to do that everywhere. It must have been very difficult being that far away and really understanding who they are. So keeping on top of the market, is it just feet on the ground? Is that how you have to do it?
No, it's more than just you have to know what's going on from an economic standpoint, what's going on in different geographies from a global scale, because you're just not having buyers that are from the DR. You have buyers with different needs from different parts of the world with different types of cultures. So that is being a chameleon, wearing so many different hats to understand what people's needs are and where to best position them. Where will they thrive? Where will they be completely happy? And kind of, asking a lot of probing and asking a lot of questions to see what it is that they really makes them tick or, what they're looking for. It's a fine dance.
Yeah, I bet. And when you said around the world, what just struck me is marketing. How do you reach so many people from around the world? I know agents around here have trouble in their own neighborhood. And how did you figure that out? And how long did it take you to start getting traction?
Well, first I thought I'm just marketing to the US because I'm in the US. And that was such a big mistake. When I was on the ground and I was, meeting with developers and meeting the clients and the people that were going and visiting and doing site visit, they were not all from the US. So I started probing and kind of getting a checklist of, okay, each developer I would talk to, where are your clients coming from? Who's buying here? And that's was like, I had an aha moment. They're not all from the US. So my marketing was just all in English. So I was like, big X, cross on that. I have to now be bilingual, English and Spanish. And the Italians understand Spanish. And the Portuguese as well. So that's how it has evolved over time.
Wow, that's great. And how long you been at it?
Well, it started by accident. It's about a year and a half now.
Wow. And you're down there doing something every 4 to 6 weeks. That's pretty incredible.
Learning something, meeting someone, seeing a new project, seeing how the scope of a development has changed drastically. So it's a lot of fun.
What was the biggest curve in learning?
Oh my goodness, there were so many. I guess I think for me, I started off with thinking just one geography, which is where I invested, or like the towns that I was familiar with. But then I started exploring and going to different parts of the country, looking at it totally different. And I would come in with different team members that like real estate brokers or developers that have been doing this a very long time. And there were just so many aha moments like, oh, wow, like I had no idea that this was growing, developing this way. So many people would benefit and love this area. So I would say that the aha moments for me came that I was even more impressed and blown away on the ground. And some of these projects are just so like they're tanks, they're ginormous. I'm like, wow, the DR is really booming. I had no idea that this is what was going on here.
That's cool. That's great. And as far as, this is an audience of real estate agents. What's it? And I don't recommend that they do this. I am curious though. As far as getting going, licensing, what's it take to get up and running there?
So you have to register your paperwork with a lawyer. Get your same thing here. You take out an LLC, you get your business registered here, you get your business registered there. Right now, the legislation for getting your license in the DR is in Congress. So it's in the midst of completely changing, but being registered in two places, obviously.
Cool. Good. And for real estate agents that are out there, if they want to, if they're dabbling in international, I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we do have a strong national presence or international presence, I should say, coming in and out for, what we have going on between the coast and mountains and employment. So there's lots of international travelers coming through here. What is your recommendation for if there's somebody interested in the DR? What would you recommend they do?
The first thing that I would recommend is to kind of narrow down geographies of where to start exploring. You have to physically, I would recommend going down there, getting a feel for it, learning the culture, how things operate, who's looking to buy, the differences of the terrain. And so really learning what the country looks and feels like.
And as far as them doing a deal, is it better for them to call you and you guys work together, or what do you recommend with that?
I'm happy to collaborate with someone else that's here in the US. I've had different brokerage reach out to me and like, I can't believe that you built this and so they had the same questions. Happy to work with you. If you want to set up shop and thinking of doing the same thing, I'm happy to help you out as well.
That's great. So you can almost be like a white wrapper on your product and team up with other brokerages to help them out. and be
Certainly.
The Dominican Republic.
Counterpart, yes.
Brilliant.
What's next? Evolving to different parts of the country is next. So right now I am in 5 geographies and expanding to 2 more, and also looking to how to integrate more of the land offerings, just like I mentioned horses. So how do I have an experience like horses, like, calm the nervous system down, so does the ocean, being in nature, being a public health professional. How do we have how do we increase longevity and aging with nature? Looking at that lens, how do generational families cohabitate in this space together? Those are the things that I'm looking at with a fine eye in public health.
That's such a unique approach. Do you reverse? Do you have a license in New York where you can relocate people to New York?
Come again?
Can you relocate? Do you have a license in New York, a real estate license in New York?
No, I do not. I don't sell real
You
estate
don't?
in New York. I
Okay.
am a broker in DR, and I I don't have I don't sell anything in New York.
No, that's great. That's keep it. You sticking to one tune. That's great.
Niche.
What's that?
It's a niche market.
Big time. So, wow, what am I missing? I feel like that when I was looking at your website, there seemed to be so much more on what am I missing that you want to talk about?
The wellness component, the
Sure.
aspect, the checklist that I look for in different properties. At the end of the day, being a public health professional and looking at everything through the lens of a public health professional, I'm finding and looking for ways, like a scientist does, to really help society and people live longer, live healthier lives. So if I am able to do this through the procurement of a residence, then I will have accomplished my mission. So purpose is really important, and that's what I love to do.
That's great. And that is part of your mission.
Absolutely.
Right. Which came first, the Dominican or the idea of healthful living?
Well, being a caretaker to a family member has taught me a lot of lessons. And so I was trying to implement these lessons with my loved one, and I saw the impact that it had on their health. And if I'm facing this challenge, how many other people aren't facing this challenge? So it was kind of like an aha moment for me. I have put so much of myself into healthcare and learning, and, but then when it hit me on a personal level, I was trying to take everything that I have learned to help take care of this family member. And so it really has made all the difference in the world to have a space to disconnect, to feel grounded, to really neutralize your nervous system, your mental health, and not only for them, but also for me as well, right? A
Yeah.
place where I can also just, take a breather, and I love to help other people do the same thing.
Yeah, that's great. This is a really cool model. I've never had it. I've never heard of it. I've seen anybody that's doing international, it's usually they're selling here in the States and they're working with buyers. What you're doing is really cool. It's a really cool process. And thanks for sharing. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So, viewers, hit subscribe, hit the bell, stay in tune. You got to find out ways to serve your clients and make some more money. Be best and have fun.